Federal High Court sitting in Kano has disqualified the chairman and members of the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission from conducting the scheduled local government elections in the state. The court ruled that the KANSIEC chairman and other members of the commission are card-carrying members of the ruling New Nigeria People's Party and also are not civil servants above grade level 14. This is coming barely 4 days to the Kano local government elections scheduled for Saturday, October 26, 2024. The court, presided by Justice S.A. Amobede, made the declaration while delivering judgment in a suit filed by Aminu Aliyu Tiga, an All Progressive Congress member, against KANSIEC, the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Barrister Haruna Esa Dederi, and 14 others. According to him, the defendants, being card-carrying members of the NNPP and in partisan politics, contrary to Section 197, subsection 1B and Section 200, subsection 1A of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, and Section 4 of the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission Law 2001, are not qualified to be the chairman and members of the KANSIEC. The judge further ruled that Kabir Zakirai, the secretary of the commission, not being an officer in the Kano State Civil Service, not below the rank of director prior to his appointment as secretary of the commission, is not qualified to be appointed to the position pursuant to Section 14 of the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission Law 2001. The judge added that the first defendant, KANSIEC, whose composition of members was made in contravention of constitutional provisions of Section 197, subsection 1B, and Section 200, subsection 1A of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, and Section 4 of the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission Law 2001, cannot validly and competently conduct local government election 2024 in respect of 44 local governments in Kano State until and unless qualified persons are duly and legally appointed as chairman and members of the commission in line with the relevant extant law. Justice Amobede further ruled that whatever the commission did or has done or is doing in preparation of the 2024 local government election in Kano State, such as issuance of election guidelines, circulars, screening of candidates, sale of nomination and expression interest forms, whichever and howsoever, are null and void and of no effect whatsoever. The defendants are forthwith disqualified and removed from their positions as chairman and members of the commission. The first defendant, KANSIEC, is forthwith restrained from conducting 2024 local government election in respect of 44 local governments in Kano State until and unless qualified persons are duly appointed. The judge continued to say the defendants are mandated forthwith not to participate or monitor the conduct of local government election 2024 in Kano State until and unless the provisions of Section 197 subsection 1B, 199 subsection 2, and 200 subsection 1A of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, and Sections 4 subsection B and 14(1) of Kano State Independent Electoral Commission Law 2001 are fully complied with in the appointment of qualified persons as chairman and members of the first defendant. The judge added. Justice Amobede directed the police and other security agencies to forthwith ensure full compliance with the ruling. Ndamzi, now this is your forte. You are a lawyer. What do you make of this judgment?
Thank you very much. And I give kudos to the judge who gave the judgment looking at the provisions of the Constitution and the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission law. You see, Lorisha, we have said it different times, at different times, that disobedience to the Constitution have consequences. When people flagrantly disobey and disregard the laws of the land, we will have an anarchical situation. How will a governor, for example, appoint those he or she knows that are not qualified to be in a particular seat, simply because you have the power to hire and fire without recourse to the law? No, I say no to that. And I must say that the times we are in the country is very, very interesting. I am very, much happy about the way the cases are flooding the courts. People are beginning to ask questions. That gives me joy every day in the country. You wake up, you hear people testing the law, testing what the court, testing the validity of institutions to act on a matter or not, testing those whom we have given power. Are they really working in line with the rules and regulations? Are they really working in line with the Constitution? I am very much glad with this judgment because it is a test case even for other states now. So the effect of this judgment is simple. The effect is that everything done by that commission, beginning from the sale of form, the timetable as issued, the preparation for election, you can see the court was very straight and particular about it. The court said everything is null and void. Yes, the chairman and members are within their rights to appeal the judgment, but I am very certain that the appellate court will also look at what the law says in 197(1)(b) and in 200(b) of the Constitution, and also Section 4 of the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission. I'm very certain that the appellate court will not do anything different than what the Eastern Court has so far have done, because that judgment is in line with the provisions of the Constitution and the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission law.
Now, the question will be, it will be one thing for the judiciary or the judge in this instance to give a judgment, and another thing for that judgment to be obeyed. We have seen instances where state governors have refused to obey court order and court judgments. Not even just state governors, but also institutions as well have, flagrant disobedience to the judgment and orders of the court. The question would be the audaciousness, the brazenness by which these people, these politicians, and the institutions, in whatever instance, choose not to obey court judgments and court orders. And guess what? At the end of the day, there are no consequences. Is it not a case where contempt of court, it applies only to the common man, one would say. It applies only to common man. But in this country, the judgment of the court is for the commoners. The rulings and orders of the court is for the commoners. But for institutions and for heavyweight politicians, it appears to not have any meaning at all. That's why I am worried at this judgment. In as much as the fact, Ndamsi, that you applaud it, does that mean that it will be obeyed?
Well, thank you very much. Very interesting question you asked there. Going by the Nigerian factor, we know that we're in a country where strong men and institutions find it difficult to obey court orders. But huge blame should be on the security agencies. You can see the judgment directed the police to enforce what the court have said. Section 4 of the Police Act gives the police powers to maintain law and order in the society. To maintain law and order, if rule of law is not maintained, then I wonder what the society will be like. The society will just be like will be anarchical in such a way that somebody can just run to you and take your glasses and break it and walk away. Somebody can come, oh, Laurentia, give me your car key. Nothing happens. So I disagree with you on one part, that this judgment will not be obeyed. No, this judgment will be obeyed. And if it is not obeyed, Nigerians should ask the Inspector General of Police questions why the judgment was not obeyed.
How many judgments have been obeyed by sitting governors? How many judgments and orders have been obeyed by sitting governors? How many judgments and orders have been obeyed by institutions? See,
Laurentia, we know that our country is really in a shaky situation now. All right? A lot have gone bad in the country, truth be told. And we know that so many have this disdain for court judgments. In fact, so many citizens, when they hear, oh, court, they will tell you, no, those judges will take bribe. No, it is not always the case. Don't forget, the courts are there to interpret the laws and set a direction. The courts, yes, we know in legal practice, we say the court have powers to defend itself when the court is directly offended. For example, when there is content in the face of court, you hear lawyers say, oh, my lord, you have the power, the courts have the power to defend itself. I'm urging the court now to defend itself. Or in a case where someone have refused to come to court as summoned on several occasions, you hear adverse party telling the court to defend itself. But in the case of a final judgment of the court, there are procedures to execute a judgment. And most judgments, when it has to do with institutions, are always directed to the police. You see instructions. You see the instructive nature of the judgment. Please, the police force, ensure the enforcement of this judgment. A particular example is the 2003 judgment. No, sorry. Let me be very certain here. Let me just use the general nature. The Amechi, Omehia, and PDP case. You see, when that judgment came, Justice Kutigi was particular in instructing the IG of police to ensure its enforcement immediately. Believe me, now and then, the IG went on air. You see, all the institutions empowered with enforcement. The Commissioner of Police swung into action. Everything was in place. And Amechi landed safely in Rivers State. Then we were all together. We all received him in the airport and drove straight to Government House. And the man took the oath of office and resumed as the governor of the state. So I don't see anything different happening here. Who says that judgment cannot be obeyed in the country? It is just institutional failures. Over time, the institutions have failed simply because the leadership is weakened. That is a fact. It's a truth. We need to look at these things squarely so that we can get it right once and for all in the country. The police is the problem. Let the police move forward and enforce that judgment. You see, police have the right to go there and seal up the premises of KANSIEC until the right thing is done. Police have the right to approach the governor and ask the governor to obey the judgment. It is the right of the police. That's why Section 4 of their Police Establishment Act says they have the powers to maintain law and order in the society.
Right. All right.